Hello dear student, how's everybody doing? I hope you are doing well. This is Mr. Judi and today I'll be solving National Examination 2023-2024 Mathematics for Grade 9. In this video, I'll be solving one of the important questions that you can easily get 2 marks from it. And the question is, it says that the square root of 55 is between which pair of the following numbers? Pair mean two things, okay? So you need to find two numbers that the square root of 55 is between them. What do you have to do? You are going to bring the square root of 55 down below like that. After that, you will be bringing two inequality symbols because it should be one of them bigger than the 55 and the other one smaller than. After you did that, you have to bring two square root that are perfect. So I'm going to write a square root symbol and a square root symbol here. Now, those two square root that you are bringing, it should be perfect. Perfect square root mean you can easily take them out. So which two number bigger than 55 and smaller than 55 is perfect? We got 64 and we got 49. So in this case, we will be simplifying them. So the square root of 64 is 8, right? The symbol of inequality. The 55 here, this, and 49 is 7. So which option that we have it here from A to D that contains 7 and 8? So the option that we got is B. So just like that, you can easily get 2 marks. This question says, let's change the color. So it says, which of the following is incorrect? Which means there's 3 correct answers that you need to find. After that, the last one, it will be the incorrect. Sometimes you can easily scan the question. Sometimes it takes time, okay? For example, if you look at this questions and the option that you got, you see one of them here specifically, it doesn't make sense. Because the square root of 24 is not 2. Because it is, let's say 24, you got it here, okay? The square root of 24 came from 2 numbers, that's perfect and non-perfect, which is 4 by 6, okay? 4 by 6, 4 is perfect because you can easily take it out from the square root, but the 6 is not. What are you gonna do? You have to break it into 4 and 6, like that. Now, the square root of 4 is 2 times the square root of 6. So, is the option C, is this answer? No. So, because it's not the answer, I'm not taking too much time with it. So, I see this is the incorrect. So, I'll be choosing that. If you didn't do that, you have to come, find this, find that, and finding this. Which means you have to verify them one by one. But sometimes by scanning the question, you can understand what's going on. We have a square root that asking us for simplify. What we should do? First, you have to bring the square root again. Okay? 108 over 25. Okay? Now, we have a property regarding square root says you can break it into 2 parts. 108 and we got 25, okay? Now, I know that the bottom part is a perfect square. Square root of 25 is 5. So I'm going to write 5 in the bottom. We got a square root of 108. This is not a perfect square. So what I have to do, I have to make it into 2 numbers. That one of them is perfect and the other one is not. So those 2 numbers are 36 times by 3. You may be thinking, teacher, how did you get that? If you remember the divisibility property, it will be helping you out. For example, I see 108. It can be divisible by 2. Also, it can be divisible by 3 because 1 plus 0, 1 plus 8 give you 9. And 9 is a multiplication of 3. So you can divide it by 3 and you get 36. After that I did this, I have to break the square root in the top into 2. So I get this. Square root of 36 times by square root of 3 over 5. Now I simplified more and I get square root of 36 is 6. So you write the 6 here and the square root of 3 over 5. So which option contains my answer? It's option A. And that's the answer for that question. This question says simplify. Okay? Now, if you got addition or subtraction, the most important part is that you look at the square root. If they contain the same number, you can proceed by adding them or subtracting them. However, if they weren't the same, you just write them the same thing. So here, I got 2 in the bottom, or in the square root, 2 in the square root. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewrite it because I need to do it. I need to subtract it because both of the square root are the same. So I'm going to write 9 square root of 2 minus 4 square root of 2. After that, I'll be taking the coefficients. Coefficients are those numbers that you have it on the left side of the term or the variable or the number, which is the 9 and the 4. So I'm going to write equal, open a bracket, 9 minus 4 and a square root of 2, just like that. Now what's left? We just subtracting 4 from 9, and we get 3 square root of 2. So which option contain my answer is the answer that I want. And here, sorry, this is 5. That number is 5. So we got the answer that contain B. Okay, guys? Number 5 says, which name apply to the number that we got here? Notice that we got this fraction and that square root. In the bottom part is 0, okay? So whenever we are dealing with something that contains 0 in the bottom here, we will be struggling because there is no answer for it. So for that matter, you don't do anything here. You don't say anything. You just look for the options. Which options say undefined, not existing, not a real number, not there? You just choose that. So in this case, natural number will not be the answer that I wanted here, okay? So I don't want that. Rational, I don't want that. Integers, I don't want it. So here I will be choosing not a real number because it's not. If it was, let's say, the square root of that, 0 over 4, so it will be square root of 0 because 0 divided by any number except for 0 equals 0. Question 6 is one of the questions in the book that asking you for finding out. So what do? First thing is say for what value of x, the value of that is a real number, okay? I don't care about the options. What I care about, what's my focus going on is this. So what do? You are going to write the square root here, x minus 19. Now, always the inside of the square is bigger than or equal to 0. So I'm going to write x minus 19 greater than or equal to 0. After that, I'll be switching the places of this, going to this side. And what do I get here? I'll be getting x greater than or equal to positive 19. Because negative, so it's going to be positive on the side. So here I got that answer. So which option contains that answer? Which option? Is it A? No. B? No. C? Yes. So the answer for C is like that. Okay. Question 7 says, find the solution of the inequality that we have it here. First thing, they say find solution, which means those values that making the inequality be true, okay? So I have to look at the inequality. I see there is an x, and 2 number. Always in equation and inequalities, make sure that you got the variable on the left side and the number on the right side. So what I'm going to do is this. I'll be writing this again. 2x's minus 4 less than or equal to x plus 2. Okay? Now, this part here goes to this side, changing side. This goes to that. So what do I get is this. I get 2 x's. The x was already positive. When you switch side, the sign is changing, become negative. X less than or equal to, you write the 2. The 4 was negative, but when it changed side, it became positive. So you get positive 4. Now we simplify them. 2x equal x. Remember, guys, if you got a variable like this, okay, nothing with it, the coefficient of that variable is 1. So it's 1 times x, okay? So I'm going to write 2x minus 1x less than or equal to 4, or 4 plus 2 doesn't matter because there's addition between them, no problem. So 2x minus 1x, you go 1x is here, less than or equal to 6. So which option contain my answer? Option C. And that's the answer for that question. It says solve the compound inequality. When you see the word compound, it means two inequality are joined together, okay? So you have to figure out what's between them. If you got an inequality like that, it means two inequality are joined by the word and. So they use and for joining them, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewrite in the question again. You write 5 less than 4x plus 1 less than 13, okay? After that, step by step. First, you have to remove the number inside. I have to take the 1 away. How do I do that? I have to bring it to both sides, just like that, okay? So in this case, I'll be having this answer, 5 less than 4x less than 13, and the plus 1 become negative 1 here, negative 1 here, okay? After that, I'll be doing the subtractions. So 5 minus 1, I get 4, like that, less than 4x. 13 minus 1 gives me 12, so I'm going to write that. After that, I see there's the 4 with the x. Always remember, guys, in equation and in inequalities, the coefficient, the number on the left side of the variable should be 1. Must be 1, okay? If it's 2, less than 2, 0 point something, or let's say a fraction, you have to make it 1. Always. That's a rule. Other than that, it will not be happening. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide all of them by 4, because the number that I'm trying to remove is 4. So you go here, you're going to write 4 over 4 less than 4x over 4 less than 12 over 4, okay? And the last step will be 4 dividing by 4, you remove that and you get 1, because 4 divided by 4 is 1. Less than, the 4 is going, x will remain, less than 12 divided by 4, you get 3. So which option contain my answer is the answer that I have. So option A. Okay, that's the answer for that question. We go for question 9. Question 9 says, solve the equation that we got here, okay? I see in this question, there is an absolute value, okay? In absolute value, you have to be careful to 3 things. 1, if the right side of the equal was positive, you get 2 answers, positive and negative. If it was 0, you only get 1 number, 1 answer, okay? If it was negative, you don't get any answer, because absolute value represents distance. Distance between 2 things. And distance cannot be calculated by negative number. So negative answer is not allowed while dealing with absolute values. Okay, so now what we have to do, I see there's a number with the absolute value. I have to remove it. Okay, what do? I divide it by that number, both sides, so I can remove it. I see 4, so I'm going to write 4 absolute value of x plus 2 over 4, because the 4 is the number that I want to remove, equal 20 over 4. Okay, after that you have to simplify. So the 4 is going, you get the absolute value of x plus 2 equal 20 divided by 4, you get 5. So this is no problem. We are close to the answer. Okay, what we have to do now, the absolute value will be removed and the 5 will take 2 signs, positive and negative. So what you got to do, you are going to make it like that. 2 sides. 1, x plus 2 equal the positive 5, or x plus 2 equal the negative side. Okay, so what you got to do here, simple. You are going to take then positive 2, put it on that side, positive 2, put it on that side. So what do we get is this, x equal 5 minus 2, or x equal 5 in negative minus 2. And here, x equal 5 minus 2, what do we get? We get 3. Just like that. Or x equal negative 5 and negative 2. Both numbers have negative signs. So when you got numbers have the same sign, like pluses, pluses, negative, negative, you add them together and we get negative 7. So which option contains negative 7 and 3 is my answer. Is it A? Yes. So A is the answer that we got it, which is negative 7 and 3. The last question for today is this question here, which say, find the solution of this inequality. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I have to be careful. Dealing with inequality and absolute value is a little bit tricky. Okay, so what you got to do? You have to remove this. Okay, so I'm going to write x minus 8 absolute value, and the inequality sign. The 5 will go to that side. You get 11 minus 5. Okay, then the next step we simplify it. We get absolute value of x minus 8 less than or equal to 6. Okay, now because the number less than the absolute value, you have 2 cases. Case 1 is that x minus 8 is less than or equal to negative 6, or x minus 8 greater than or equal to 6. Okay, so what do we get? In this part, this goes to the other side. We get x minus 8 plus 6. The other one happening, which means the x will be alone, negative 6 plus 8, or x greater than or equal to 6 plus 8. Okay? Now, in this part, you subtract, you get x less than 2, or because 8 is bigger and positive, the answer will be positive. And you have to subtract it. And x, 6 plus 8, you got 14. So which one contains my answer is the answer? Is it A, B, C, D? So we got D as an answer.